Good evening and welcome to the October 21st, 2025 meeting of the Spakman-Kilo Union Free School District Board of Education. I'd ask that you rise and join me in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Item 2.01 is comments from the public on consent agenda items. Do you have any public comment on consent agenda items? Okay, with that, I will entertain, well, actually, do any board members have any questions or comments on any consent agenda items? Okay, with that, I'll ask for a motion to accept the consent agenda as prepared.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, it's 5-0. That brings us to 6.01, which is actually going to be pulled. Our school lunch director was not able to make it tonight, so we'll be discussing that at the November 18th meeting, as I understand. So that brings us to 6.02, our elementary administration update.
Good evening, everyone. Lots of fun things happening in the early parts of the year. We just had our book fair, thanks to the PTA and all the volunteers that help make that possible. Kids get really excited. I remember being a young student in Nassau going through the book fair, and it still got that same energy and passion behind reading, which is really nice to see. Last week, we also had the Arlington Fire Company come out and do the fire safe house for our third graders. I know it's coincided with a board walkthrough before, so you got to see that in action. But the third graders are always thrilled to be a part of that program. In fact, one of my former students is now leading the whole thing. So it's really cool, kind of full circle moment for myself there. This week started our play club, our before school play club, which is in connection to our Let Grow project. So essentially each day, Monday through Thursday, the playground is opened up for families that signed up to just come and play. We have 3 teachers that are running the program at Hagen, Mr. Merrill, Mr. Murin, and Mrs. Crittenden. It's been a lot of buzz about it. We just kind of got off the ground on Monday, which was rainy, so it kind of petered our participation, but today was full go. So it was nice. We'll continue to see that grow. A little bit of a dance at Hagen because we have all our before school ensembles. So I had to kind of navigate different ways to get kids 2 days a week, but it worked out. And the fact that more than half our population likes to be there before school starts is a testament to the kids and the programs that are running. So that's really cool, and this is our second month of doing Let Grow. This month's theme is Spread Your Wings. So the first month was Get Out of Your Comfort Zone. Now it's all about spreading your wings and kind of spreading that influence of doing things on your own. So we're excited to see next week we'll start, tabulating what the kids did and having those kind of conversations. And then it's always a buzz and excitement about Halloween. So next week, that Friday, we'll have our recess rodeo in the morning. Kids will go through stations. Last year, we decided to make it much more Let Grow, and we're going to do that again because it was highly successful. Instead of the teachers droning on for 14 minutes and the kids playing for 2, we're just going to let them play. And the kids are really excited about that. And then in the afternoon, we do our parade and we do our parties. So I know there'll be a lot of excitement in the building and and energy. So that's pretty much it. Mr. Lynch?
All right. So we also had fire safety at Nassau. I think most of you probably saw the picture of Dr. Fanuelli in this very tiny trailer, which was my favorite picture in the newsletter, but that's always fun. Also, our kindergartners went to Meadowbrook Farms. They came home with a bunch of apples and a handful of bee stings, which the bees were out that day, but everybody was safe. Our school nurse was there, and fun was had by all. We have 3 clubs running at Nassau right now. We have the Nutty Scientist. We have our Spanish club. If you remember, that was the Marist group. And we also started the Play Club on Monday. It's the first time that Nassau students who are electing to take the bus had to kind of do that Todd exchange. And so it was pretty neat to actually see some of the Todd students and the staff at Todd, which was great, kind of help these young students get from one bus to the next and then come over to Nassau. So that was wonderful. We have about 80 students signed up for the Play Club, and we alternate days, Monday through Thursday. So that's going very well. Mr. Curtis is running it with Mrs. Pino. We also did our Let Grow Challenge, where students are challenged to go home and do something outside of their comfort zone. And we had about 200 leaves out of 300 students, which is a really wonderful start. And I'll just read you a couple of the things that our K2 students did. So, cleaned my room, made breakfast by myself, bought something at the store and paid for it with my own money by myself. Bike riding alone in our cul-de-sac. I packed my school snack. I walked to school. I fed a sheep. My personal favorite, because I'm from Saugerties, home of the Garlic Festival, but I tried garlic ice cream. I read to my sister, and I took out the garbage. So really, we had 200 of those. Funny story with our tree, we have one that's supposed to look like it's kind of blowing in the wind, and the leaves should be going in one direction. And of course, the leaves that I printed off were going in the other direction. So we made the best of that. But lastly, I'll just go off of what Mr. D'Souza said. Halloween is a really exciting time at Nassau. The last couple of years we've changed from, we used to have it be like a full week type of thing, and now we have, by design, kind of jammed our pumpkin run, our parties, our parade all into one day. So we're looking forward to that, and also if anyone made it out to the trunk or treat, super well attended. Our PTA does a phenomenal job with that. Parking, I don't know if I had the farthest parking spot. It felt like a mile walk to get to Hagen for it, but great to see the community come out for that. So thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. D'Souza, has the reveal of your Halloween outfits? Is it
I was at the trunk or treat. We are still in Little Mermaid mode because my daughter's helped out. So I'm King Triton. My daughter is Ariel. My other daughter is Sebastian. Disney quality costume, cost a fortune. And my wife, they wanted her to be Ursula, but she chose Skull. So there you go.
Thank you again. 7.01, board correspondence. We have email regarding a student matter, which is being addressed by our administration. And that brings us to 7:02, comments from the public on non-agenda items. Okay. 7.03, comments from the board. Do you have any board comments?
Brief comment. I attended the NISBA business meeting last Thursday evening, where delegates from each of the area schools, district schools across the state met to review and vote on the resolutions. We discussed this at our last meeting. I believe everyone on the board got a report from NISBA about the results of that meeting, but the short of it is that 24 resolutions were approved by the delegates. That included 22 of the 23 recommended resolutions. The only one that did not pass of the recommended resolutions was the one that we discussed at our meeting last week about the fire drills, the increase or the decreasing of drills from 4 to 2 that did not pass. So that will remain at 4. Although it was emphasized in discussion that that's a minimum, I guess even at 4, that is simply a minimum. School districts can certainly hold more drills than that if desired. And then of the 11 resolutions that were not recommended, 2 did pass. first and the last. Very briefly, the first of those was a resolution that would expand the application of reorganization aid to include not just full mergers of school districts, but to include regional schools, regionalization issues, as we talked about it before. There were a number of resolutions that touched on that, but that resolution passed. And then the other resolution that was on the not recommended list that was passed was amended and allows for mandatory recess, or provides for mandatory daily recess for schools in kindergarten through 5th grade and students in 6th grade who are in elementary school buildings. So that was a sort of a technicality. There was really a lot of support for that. It just had to be amended so that the language would be a little bit more inclusive for those grades. So, successful meeting, long, started at 4, ended about 9:45, I think, but successful meeting.
Short one.
Yeah, short. It's getting a little shorter, like 15 minutes shorter every year. But good spirits, on all hands.
Thanks again for taking that time to represent SPAC. We appreciate your efforts in that.
Sure.
Any other board comments?
Yes, I also want to thank Dr. Horvath for attending that. I heard it went from 8 hours to 6 hours this year, so it's a very long event, but thank you for sharing our concerns on what we brought up at the last meeting. We appreciate it. I saw that Hagan had their safety meeting, their safety committee meeting. It was mentioned in some of our board information. Appreciate that they're trying to do some lockdowns during lunch periods. I think that's a great idea. You never know, those can be pretty hectic, especially with kids outside and you guys inside. So thank you guys for considering into doing that. I also saw you guys discuss push locks on the doors for the next capital project and locking for the vestibule doors. I'm in full support of that. I would love to see that even before a capital project. I consider that right up there with our fire alarms, our fire extinguishers, and that's something that we should really be pushing to get done as soon as possible. If we had a bad fire extinguisher, we'd be replacing it right away. And same thing with our lockdown drills and fire drills and all that. I mean, I don't recall the last time we heard of students, having a severe incident with a fire at a school, but we hear these lockdown ones happening a lot. So I think we should continue pushing forward on our lockdown drills and being prepared and trying to get those push doors upgraded as soon as possible. If we could look into some pricing on that or whatever that may be. I know we should have funding for it. For looking at $4 million at the end of each year. I'm sure we could look at upgrading some doors and some safety aspects, similar to what we do for, again, if we had a bad fire alarm or a bad fire extinguisher. That's what I chalk that one up to. Other than that, that's all I have right now. Thank you.
Anyone else? Is that something that could be considered a mini cap project or something like that? Is that something that could be on the radar for doing sooner than later?
It could be, we will look at the price for each lock and then, see if we can do building by building if in 1 year, see how many we can do in 1 year. But yeah, we can definitely look into that.
Okay, appreciate that.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're having a security and safety meeting tomorrow, Thursday? Thursday? Just internal, just to kind of go over some of the stuff. We're considering doing more of a safety audit on our buildings with everything and try to see what that might churn up to then see what we'd want to prioritize based on what that yields. The locks have been spoken about before, so we could we'll continue to put that on the on the list to see how it goes. But no, it's definitely a good idea to do.
Great, thank you. I guess I'll just add, we're hitting the playoff season for our sports teams, and there's a lot of really exciting sports going on in Spakenkill. And I would ask that all of our community come on out and support our teams. They're doing great, and it's really exciting, positive vibes out there, awesome. So, can't wait to see how we all continue to go through M-Halls and sectionals, it's great. And with that, I'll pass it over to 7.04, comments from our superintendent.
Yeah, I'll echo it's definitely a championship or playoff season. The Mahalls, I think we won yesterday, so we're in the finals of the Mahalls and a couple of sports tomorrow. Off-site, though, I think it's in Highland. So that's definitely coming up. We have a football game this Friday. Those have always been a great community event. We have one on Halloween next week, to be aware of that. And just fun stuff around I think the elementary principals talked about it, but just some fun stuff that's been happening, you know, between the book fair and the fire safety. It's always kind of, the kids definitely enjoy taking part of fire safety. At one of the fire safety events, Eric, I spoke to one of the teachers about their Meadowbrook Farms trip, and she said that Meadowbrook Farms staff complimented them on being one of the best behaved schools that have visited there. So definitely something to highlight, that some members of the community have noticed the Nassau kids' behavior. So good job there. And great to hear about the play club and also about some of the items that the kids decided to do. Probably some happy families out there paid for it with their own money. I heard that as one of the things. So, definitely some cool stuff. So keep us posted on that, because I think that's definitely cool. And thank you. That's all.
Great, thank you. With that, I'll bring it to 9.01. I'll ask for a motion to adjourn the meeting. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Passes 5-0. We'll see you November 18th, our next meeting.